Fishing with Johnny Johnson has been brought to you by Hatch Toyota, generations moving forward.
There's a bite.
You got one?
Well, he's biting at it. Let's see if I can get him out.
Come on.
Got him? Got him.
All right. That's what I'm talking about, son.
Oh, he's a little one.
Oh, it's a little one, but you got one.
Right in that brush pile down there.
That's what you call that's what you call doing the little structure fishing there, huh, Matt?
Yeah, I was getting snagged on the brush, and the next thing I know, I felt a little doink.
We're on a fish habitat, and we're actually at Apache Lake, folks. And I'll tell you what, that's not a bad fish, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little one compared to what we were catching.
Yeah,
the other
there's
day.
some good ones in here.
We came out here. They had a little company party out here. We came out and helped some of the guys fish and catch some fish, and we were catching like a 2-pound average fish. That was before this big cold front blew through. It was just as it was starting to come in. And anyways, Matt was finding a lot of fish on Fish Habitat, and Josh was too, and doing a little cranking, a little drop shotting. So that's why we're back here at Apache Lake with my good old buddy Matt Shura. We're gonna catch some fish today, baby.
I hope so.
And we'll figure out what it's gonna take to catch some of these fish, but we'll probably alternate back and forth, a little cranking, a little spinner baiting, a little whatever it takes for us to catch some fish. But you know, we're here towards the end of November, and I'll tell you what, or mid-November, right. And the water's pretty, you know, it's starting to chill down, 63 degrees.
Yep,
about 63 degrees, and but the smallmouth should get going. So we'll see if we can't catch some, huh?
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Got some good ones last week. Like I said, we had an average.
Let's go back over that.
Yeah, an average of 2-pound smallmouth. We caught some 2.5 pounders and got a 2-pound, little over 2-pound walleye too on a crankbait. So the walleyes seem to be doing well too, and just a healthy lake. It's just a matter of making them bite.
You know what? I think it's important for people to understand at home too that this is the time of year really to go out and catch some fun fish. Once they start stabilizing in the winter, you can usually get on a pretty good bite. You know, just because it's cold out doesn't mean you can't catch fish.
Yeah, and those fish we were catching last week, we had a 1.5-pound fish that spit up 3 shad on the bottom of the boat. I'm just throwing shad up and then catch another one and throw out a couple shad. So they really seem to be feeding on the shad.
Got him.
So there you go.
There's one.
Another monster.
Another monster fish. You know, Josh came through here and caught all our big fish.
No, he has a habit of doing that, Josh.
Yes,
Bertrand,
he does.
That's not a bad one.
Yeah, it's not a bad little fish right there. Little drop shot bass.
Oh, I think I just had one too.
They're in there.
A little sweet spot here.
They're in that little sweet spot. All right, buddy. Come on. I'll just bring you on in. Come back and hit that stuff. You know, they put these structures in a while back to help these fish out, give them some places to hide, and I'll tell you what, they're big brush piles, big ones.
They are fish magnets too. I mean, it's just, the fish just live there, and you can count on getting a bite in that area. You know, the fish, and you can leave it alone and come back to it a little later, and another fish will move up in there, and it's
you could almost just go around all the fish habitat and just start catching fish off of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. You know, we're throwing curl tail worms, and you can throw the straight tails, and you know they make all kinds of different worms. But you know, throw an earthworm color or something like that. Oh, you are the man. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Matt, you weren't wrong about this spot. This is one I didn't hit last week. There was too many boats on it.
Yeah, and it's funny too, because what I've seen in these fish habitats, there's a lot of smallmouth in this lake, but what I've seen is the largemouth, you know, really relate to that structure, you know?
Yeah.
The smallmouth, I mean, we were catching a lot of smallmouth on the sheer walls and the, you know, walls and flats both, but as soon as you come around a brush pile or something like that, it seemed to be a largemouth. So it just, I can think it's just kind of their instinctive nature to be around that structure, the largemouth, more so than smallies, I think, that cruise around more, don't you think?
I agree with you, and I think, well, the largies seem to really like the structure, so they'll hang around that structure area for sure.
And it just seems I'm just dragging on the rocks, and once I bump into that, I can just feel the rock, and that's one important thing about having a sensitive rod. You know, you can feel the rocks. Then all of a sudden you just bump into something that's different, and that's when I'm slowing it down and really letting it dead stick and you know, maybe shake it a little bit right around that structure, because you know you're around that structure once you run into it.
Where'd you toss? Hope I didn't toss over you.
You're good.
All right.
You know, and I think there's a lot of brush that they, I saw some pictures that they had.
Where they were dropping it around the...
Yeah, but I mean, there's brush piles that aren't marked too. Their structure is not marked. And
yeah, they did a great job of getting this lake back and doing everything we could to get this fishing going.
I know they had a lot of volunteers and really made some nice habitat for these lakes, and it's really helped them. I mean, look at Havasu, for example. You know, look what it did to help how much it helped that lake. I mean, it's
probably
unreal.
The best smallmouth fishery in the state right there.
Yeah, and it all really seemed to come together once they put all that habitat in the lake.
My right hand was going numb on me all the time. I really thought this was career ending for me. Then I found Dr. Michael Fitzmaurice. He looked at my hand, walked me through step by step of what was happening and what he needed to do. Minimal invasive hand surgery and instant relief. I was back to fishing in a week. Carpal tunnel and tennis elbow is no fun. I highly recommend Fitzmaurice Hand Institute. Call for your appointment today at Fitzmaurice Hand Institute. You don't have to live with the pain.
Call toll-free 855-480-HAND or visit fitzhand.com.
Look at that.
I went right over that log and felt him.
They're getting bigger. They're getting bigger.
Oh, he had one following him.
Where at?
He did. He had one following him.
See if I can catch him.
I don't know.
Anytime you have those followers.
Sometimes you can get it out there. And, oh, it's a little bit bigger fish right there.
Nice one.
Should we tell people what pound test line we're throwing in that brush?
I think they know by now. It's that 6-pound line, man. It
That's
just
right.
makes a difference.
That's a good one right there, buddy.
That's a nice fish. You want to take the front so you can
Yeah, go ahead.
all hold us on the spot?
Thank you so much. Let's get this bad boy in. 6-pound test line, you don't want to wail on them too much. You don't know. Here's the deal. You don't know if you ever have nicked your line in that stuff, so you don't want to put yourself in a position to lose the fish. All right, buddy.
Nice one.
Look at that, and they're eating it.
Oh, good. So I know that you're using the right color, right?
Yep, that's when you know, right there. Hey, there you go. They're getting bigger, Matt.
Yeah, we got the small
That's
ones
what I'm
out
talking
there.
about, son.
Got the small ones out of the way. Now the bigger ones are biting. That's a good sign.
You know, I just felt myself coming over a little piece of a log or something, and tick. You know, you'll feel it tick when you use good rod. You know, I'm using a Johnny Morris Carbon Light series rod, and I know Matt's got you got Jim's.
Yeah, Rim Country custom rods. It's Jim Guggenhauer makes them out of Payson. Awesome rods.
Great rod.
And they match my shirt.
Yeah. Look at him. Look at his shoes,
custom.
folks. Look at his shoes. My goodness. I thought I was bad with the colors. I mean, he's a walking billboard, let me tell you.
I like orange.
Oh, you do great. He's a fireman. I mean, we gotta let him wear the orange, you know. I don't think you have to worry about anybody stealing your colors this time.
There's fish.
All right.
Got him.
Oh,
that one's pulling.
Hey, you got a good fish right there, brother.
You know, when you first hook them out of that habitat, you want to pull them, make sure to pull them out. You know, pull them straight up. Nah, I must have.
That's a good one.
No.
Come on, now you just told me that was a good one.
I must have had part of the habitat, because once you get bit, if you let them take it too long, they'll take you down into that brush.
You're
and then
right.
Then you'll lose them.
You're right.
So
look at that.
I think I had a.
Need help or you got it?
I got it. I think I had a piece of that brush down there with this fish. So.
Look at there.
Well, I'll let
Get
you.
another fish. Let me tell you, this is 4 fish we caught off one piece of structure here on Apache Lake. That's awesome.
I'll take care of the little ones, and I'll let you get back in there and get the big ones.
Well, you know, you'll get yours, I'm sure.
Come on, it's your show.
At least you respect me. That's funny. It's your show. There he is.
There he is.
All right, come on.
Oh, that's a good one. All right.
Yeah, son.
Nice fish.
He was out there a little bit farther. Come on. Oh, he's flashing now. Good old drop shot bass. We went to that other fish habitat, and as you can see, pulled right up to it. We made a couple casts in here, and oh, come here. Oh, come on. Oh, the wind's blowing. the few extra pounds that I had this weekend with the chip and dip.
There you
that
go.
didn't help none. All right, look at that.
Nice fish.
Yeah, and they're healthy. Look how nice and round they are. Look at that belly, huh?
Yeah, they're healthy fish.
Yeah, I lost my weight. You know why? Because I felt myself in a tree, and I just sat there and shook it, and he came and took it right off the tree.
Oh, nice.
Or the brush pile or whatever was down there. So, yeah, that was pretty nice. You know, and that's the whole thing is you find some of these, and it's kind of like a little pattern. You can go along these and catch some fish, even when the fishing's slow for everything else. We just talked to a gentleman on the lake a little while ago, said his fishing's real slow, he's not catching them. And we kind of went right behind him and was catching fish out of the fish habitat. He was fishing more up towards the bank. I think he was cranking, wasn't he? Or
Yeah,
looked like he was cranking.
Crankbait or something.
And we tried a little bit of the crankbait. Of course, you know, it could still turn on in certain areas.
Sometimes you just have to slow down, you know?
Yep, you're right.
Have you been injured in an accident? Call Suzuki Law Offices today for your free consultation and speak to me. Do not talk to the insurance company. The insurance company is not your friend. They're trying to work what's in their best interest. At Suzuki Law Offices, we're here to work for what's in our client's best interest. Call Suzuki Law Offices for your free consultation, and we will aggressively fight for you. We don't get paid until our clients get paid. Call Suzuki Law Offices and see the difference.
That last one honestly felt
pretty good, huh?
But so did the first
He
one.
was,
But
he was the monster.
I had that one for 4 or 5 cranks, and he got me into the brush.
That's the problem, those bigger fish with the lighter pound test line. You can come out here with 8 pound, you know, and give that a shot, but for drop shotting, there are guys that'll throw big weights on with heavy line and get down into that stuff.
I sure am a believer. You know, we talked about it before. We do the seminars in the tank, you know, Bass Pro. You do too
You
now.
betcha.
And yeah, we're on the same team. I almost forgot now.
Yeah.
We're on the Nitro team and the Bass Pro team. But so when we do the seminars down there, you use that 6 pound line, and the action of that worm is just fantastic. And if you go to 8 or 10 or something and try to show the folks, the worm just doesn't fall as free, fall as slow. It's just, I know a lot of people use it and it works, but I'd rather take my chances with the 6 pound line because I just feel like you definitely get more bites.
I'm gonna toss towards the back of it. If I remember right, it's in that area right there.
There's the habitat. And look, it was bluegill, huh?
Oh, was it?
Yeah, bluegill nipping at it. You can feel it when it's yep. But there's a bluegill in there. Maybe there's a bass.
They're eating them, aren't they?
Yeah, those bass, the couple that I've caught have really thumped it, but they were smaller. But did that one hit it, or?
He hit it. As soon as I was shaking it on the wood, you know, like I said, I got caught up a little bit and I just shook it for a second. Boink. That's right there.
Like right there.
Got him.
Man, we're getting a drop shot lesson today, folks.
Oh, he's in. He's in the.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, he's a monster, folks. Get in here, Moby.
Nice job.
All right, come on, fish. Yeah, it's really, honestly, I am shaking it like you wouldn't believe in that wood, and they're hitting it.
Must be the secret.
Oh, come on. No. I want that hook in my finger. There we go, got him. This one ain't a giant, but they're in there. You know, if you find the habitat and it's gotta be wood they put in there. Brush piles and stuff?
Yep, exactly. Just big brush piles. Yeah, I'm not getting the bites. I'm doing the more of the dead stick thing that I like to do, and maybe they want it to be shook a little bit.
You know, we threw that crankbait around. You would have thought that if they like things moving pretty good, you know, they'd hit that crankbait. Huh?
Yeah, but can't beat them. Join them. That's 2 fish you've caught.
I'm shaking it.
I'll try it.
When you hit that wood, just shake it a little bit. Just give it a shot.
I know I see a lot of people when they shake their worms on the drop shot. And that's what's cool about the tank at Bass Pro. You can show people you want to keep that weight in contact with the bottom and just barely shake the slack in your line.
Exactly.
And that gives that worm
shake.
so much action. You don't want that weight hopping off the bottom.
No, that's the whole purpose of having that weight there, is to keep it right there, huh? That's where you got bit, huh?
Yeah, getting bit again.
Huh?
Finally getting bit again there.
Got him?
There he is.
All right, Matty got one.
Not pulling that hard.
Uh-oh.
I'll just catch the small ones today. I'm fine with that. Small ones are fun to catch too. Especially when they fight
It's
like...
about catching fish when it's cold out.
Yeah.
That's, anytime you're catching fish, it's a ball.
Especially when they fight like these small ones, you know?
Yeah, they fight pretty doggone good. You watch, we're gonna go find some bigger fish here in a few.
Yeah, I think we can get some down by the dam. It's a fish.
Yep, good job, buddy. Little drop shot bass.
Drop shot bass.
Little drop shot bass.
You got everybody doing that too, I hear everybody.
Do I?
I make my living towing my boat from lake to lake, and I can tell you when it comes to quality, comfort, and reliability, the Toyota Tundra is the truck for me. And when you pair that up with the #1 Toyota Tundra dealer in Arizona, Hatch Toyota, you've got a winning combination. Stop by Hatch Toyota, take a test drive, and see for yourself why the Toyota Tundra is ranked #1 in my book. But be aware, you just might go home with the best truck you've ever owned. From Hatch Toyota, 1051 North Auto Mall Parkway in Shola.
Sure seems like everybody has their favorite way to
drop
present,
shot.
to drop
Yeah.
shot or throw a jig. You see a lot of people shaking them, and it's one thing. I've gotten stubborn into, I just like the dead stick and
Well, that's a good technique.
and it
really is.
works a lot of times.
It works great for you.
But you're proving they want it, kind of moving right now. And same thing with the jig. I like to keep in contact with the bottom and just drag that jig real slow and keep in contact with it.
Some guys yo-yo it.
One of my team partners, Brad Cook, he likes to hop it. Almost like you would a spoon, but not as aggressive.
Yeah.
And he'll catch 3 to my 1 some days, so it just pays to try the different,
It's good to,
different
and it's good
techniques.
to pay attention. Always pay attention to fine detail, obviously, because what your partners are telling you. That's why I always look at my partner. How'd you catch the fish? Where'd you catch him? How close was he to the bank? You start asking questions.
Well, it doesn't take a treat of fall on my head to watch you catch 2 fish and me not
Yeah, right.
I'll start shaking it. It's really a neat spot.
Really, it is.
There's a bite.
There you go. You bit?
I don't know. Couldn't tell if the boat was moving or.
Moving out with it? Moving out with it.
There he is.
You're catching him now, brother.
That one's
He was
pulling.
right under the boat.
That one's pulling a little bit.
Is he? Good one?
I don't know. It feels
Big fish
good.
of the day? Come on, Matt, get him. Let's see. Oh, he's not bad.
Golly.
Little fish, but you got him right out here
Yeah.
a little bit farther. I'll move out a little bit.
They do pull though.
About
Gee whiz.
16 feet of water right there.
Thought I had a good one that time. Like you say, they're all
That's
good.
still a nice fish.
Yeah, that's a little better.
A drop shotty.
There's a drop shot bass.
Now you got to realize we've done quite a bit of cranking this morning and we haven't caught anything on them. So, here we slowed down and started doing a little bit of drop shotting alongside these fish habitats and catching some fish.
Sometimes
Were you shaking it when he caught
I was shaking it.
Hey folks, for my tip of the week, one thing that's really important when you're doing this drop shotting is anytime you're fishing any of these kind of fish habitats or the brush that you're fishing or logs, anytime you get hung up and you know that your weight got hung up, if you just sit there a second, give it some time, give yourself an opportunity to catch what I call a lucky fish, and when you get hung up, just shake the rod tip, shake that worm a little bit and let it sit there. But if you shake that rod tip a little bit and let that worm bounce around a little bit, maybe you can draw that fish in to actually grab the bait, pull your weight loose, and bring the fish to the surface and catch the fish. And that's my tip of the week. I've caught more fish 9 times out of 10 doing that by fishing structure like that. So give yourself another opportunity of catching fish.
There he is.
All right.
That'll work.
That'll work right there. And there you go.
I'm just gonna catch the small ones today.
No,
but that's all
you
right.
did great, brother.
Whoa, gee whiz. Did you see that?
We came back and hit that first one again, and he gets a nice one.
It's not a bad
Got him?
one there. Yep.
Matt,
in.
great job.
Kind of had to work for this one. I let it sit in that brush pile, just like you said, and just started shaking it.
Isn't that crazy?
Sometimes if you can't beat them, you just got to join them. And
Yeah, well, you're the master at that stuff, man.
I'll tell you what.
Great job. Man, we've had a great time on the show today. We showed you how to catch some drop shot fish right here on these fish habitats. Matt, it was a blast. I enjoyed having you on the show, but I'll tell you what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put these things down and go try to find another bite. So with Matt Shura right here on Apache Lake for next week. So join us next week right here on Fishing with Johnny Johnson. That's what I'm talking about.